assets are. If our assets are not reasonably here, we would always ask for California Highway Patrol or Southwest, and they were very accommodating. We've had units from Southwest come up maybe, once a week or...
And support us or stabilize a call till we got there and, then we start going from there.
Yeah, but it's a centralized dispatch up in Riverside. They know all the calls that are going on too. So. Yes, sir.
First of all, thank you for what you do. Appreciate it. So I'm like right on the borderline here. I'm on the south side of East Bend, here in Newport. So I think that's your station, right? That would
Just barely not. Just barely outside.
Yeah. So I get serviced out of French Valley.
We get Southwest
Station. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But if it's something that's like Sergeant Cramer said, if there's something that we can all network together, a critical incident, a God forbid a shooting or something, that's something that we're all going to come to and figure out after the dust settles and everyone's safe. Okay, where we are and who's going to handle all that stuff. That doesn't mean it's just this little corridor is just kind of awkward for everybody to get to. And if we're busy in Anza, we'll triage those calls and then we'll come down and vice versa. When we were all here yesterday on Best Road, and obviously that leaves then a hole in Idlewild and Mountain Center. So we just have to vary our resources and distribute as best we can.
As a station, we're all very cognizant. We talk about it a lot. I'm a working captain. I have all my gear in the car. There's been more. I think I was here 2 weeks, and I was helping out our Valley guys with a subject running that was armed with a gun, off of Stetson. My background is in that. So I understand what the concerns are. We're all very aware of it, and we're constantly working proactively to address these areas, making contacts with the community. The best information comes from you that are here living locally that can share that information with us. We are taking it seriously. We want to be ahead of this. My biggest job is advocating for my folks, having those conversations with Sheriff's admin for allocating resources, getting more resources, more things, working in collaboration with our partners in the Valley to really be able to bring resources into the area and impact and provide some sort of impact for it. But when we have this incident where we have six units tied up on the mountain addressing a concern that is important to you as a station commander, I have to look at everything. I have almost 800 square miles of area that I have to cover. So to have that here, I know I have gaps in coverage in other areas. In the Valley, we do a very good job in the sense that we have a very good working relationship with my partners in San Jacinto. So we're constantly in each other's area. The last station that I worked Moreno Valley. It was a station that had almost 200 deputies. Deputies on every corner, it almost seemed like. But my first duty station was Cabazon. As a deputy, I made my bones, working. There was 3 of us in Cabazon back in the day, and we would break and calls for service. Sometimes I would go 45 minutes, code 3, putting well over 200 miles on my unit over a shift just to get to my partner on it. We're talking critical incidents, shots fired, domestic violence incidents where you're dealing with things on your own. And these guys are having to put themselves in those situations because we don't have all the resources to bear. But they're doing a good job. We're laying inroads. We have more resources coming. Sheriff's Administration is very well aware of that. I would say that you reach out to your board of supervisors and let them know the importance of properly staffing these areas. All of these guys are working deputies. They're all in their uniform. They may have sergeant, I got lieutenants and all that. We all have a full complement of all our gear in our cars because you never know. I've had to roll 1111, which is emergency backup to a unit because he's in a fight and doesn't have anybody. So we're very sensitive to what you're saying and what exactly happened in that scenario. I don't know. Those calls get prioritized by our dispatcher, And depending on what the circumstances, if it's in progress, if it's happening right now, it's a higher priority, so it comes up higher in the queue. I don't know the specifics, but our pledge to you is that we're gonna look into that, and we're here to provide that public safety portion for you. And, you know, if we drop the ball, I will tell you, we dropped the ball, but our job is to learn from that and to, you know, work in collaboration with you. So, if you can leave your information with Sergeant Cramer, I would be more than interested and curious to find out what exactly were the circumstances with that, and that's the other thing about law enforcement, as far as the experiences that I've had. We do what we call a debrief. After every incident, every major incident, this goes back to, I see some of our military vets in there, we do debriefs. You know, we sit there as a group and we dissect the circumstances of the case and figure out the good, the bad, the ugly. What did we do good? What did we do bad? What did we really screw up? So that we don't do that for the next one. I have a lot of new deputies, young guys coming out of the academy, and it's a constant battle to just train to get them up to speed because of the particular needs of this community, this service area. It's not like working those areas like Moreno Valley where you have so many more resources, and it's in a nice grid, and there's lights on every corner, there's sidewalks. We don't have that out here. Working in Cabazon, I was still 10-8, and 10, 12 hours later, I wouldn't even see a partner, but I would be dealing with domestic violence incidents, assaults, all kinds of things. So you learn, these guys out here and our folks, they know how to deal with people, they know how to interact with people, they know how to talk to people. We're always constantly talking about listening to what they're saying and all that, so that primarily they're safe and that they're providing that service to our communities. So it's a daily battle, but we're in it. Yes, sir.
Is there a sheriff stationed at Capt Ryan for the helicopter at all times, or is that just when needed involves ask to get over there?
Capt Ryan is where our West End aviation is located, and then there's also one out at Cramer.
But it's not a patrol station. It's just
They just dump in the helicopter and go.
But they go to work there. They don't have to drive there. That's where they work.
Okay.
They're there waiting to go.
So because of maintenance, fatigue, and all those things, they can't fly for the 10-hour shift straight. So they come up, and because they're so close, we get a good amount of support. We're not in Garupa, let's say, or Palm Desert. We get a lot of support from aviation because it's close in proximity. So it's a benefit to all these communities right here.
We took a big chunk of your time. I know there's other speakers. I'm going to be in the back of the room here, and if anyone has any particular questions or conclusion, I will listen to all of it. All right? But thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I guess next would be code enforcement.